All right, good morning. It is Ben at 10. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here live from the back deck in beautiful Borden, Indiana. And big day across the area. Got Harvest Homecoming, uh, the beer walk or whatever people call it, the unofficial event today and tonight, where a lot of folks and friends will be out just supporting the local beverage establishments in New Albany today. I think we've got Racing Louisville playing tonight, and then Lou City is going to be playing tomorrow evening. Beautiful weather all across the area. But I'm a little more bundled up here. I don't know what we're going to do in the wintertime because there is a nip in the air this morning, as promised, the coldest that we've seen since mid-April, so 6 months ago. And we saw even some upper 30s in some spots this morning. So definitely our chilliest of the season so far. And we could take a live look at what's happening across the area. And it is severe clear once again. It is nothing but a blue sky across the area. I see one person there walking, no, two people walking the fossil beds there, three people. It's kind of like Where's Waldo? Nope, 4 or 5. I see a couple more looking there at the falls of the Ohio on this Friday. Happy Friday, TGIF. It is 10/10/25, October the 10th. And we are going to have a fall season, guys, meaning some amazing temperatures on the way. Great weather to take us through mid-October. Perhaps no rain through next week. We'll see. There's not much happening, thankfully, with our weather pattern here. And eventually we'll talk about the fall foliage forecast. We've got some weather stats. We've got your weather history. We've got some cold weather jokes. We've still got a lot of weather content here to get through. There's even a meteor shower, even though it's not a very good one, we'll talk about. So plenty to cover on the Ben at 10 show this morning. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. Feel free to drop in the comments, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from as well. And speaking of some of those low temperatures here this morning, we'll get to some of your comments in just a second. Not sure how big your screen is and how if you can see this or not, but the Crawford County Community Schools weather observation station with the Indiana Mesonet. Mesonet means a group of these weather observation stations. We've got kind of a drought in the weather observation stations in our area of southern Indiana, so we need more here. But 38 there near Bloomington, 37. So some of the first 30s in our area this morning. I saw a comment on my post earlier with a car thermometer showing 37 degrees. So there you go. Not cold enough, I don't think, for any frost, but cold enough. We got to bundle up a little bit out here this morning. So that's a look at the low temperatures here this morning. We're now starting to make our way into the 40s, and pretty soon we'll be into the 50s as well. Just cruising extolmag.com/weather right here, where we got the 7-day forecast, the current conditions showing 46 degrees. And our weather maps, there's no severe weather threat anytime soon. And there's the big interactive radar. We can plot some of those area temperatures. 50s in the metro, Louisville area, and then outlying areas there you can see in the 40s, just very light breeze from the southwest out there for today. So I know a lot of you love the October chill. I'm okay with it. I drained the pool yesterday, so I got to cover that thing up and mow the yard and all that fun stuff. Got a golf scramble tomorrow, so some fun things to look forward to this weekend. Hannah's home for a little fall break as well from IU. We've got Beverly Hagist with a good morning from Borden, Indiana. I was up at 7 o'clock this morning, and it was 40. There you go. Probably the same here on my back deck as well. Lillian Lasley with a live report of 52 degrees. Dennis Gregory getting out and getting over 2 miles in the dark this morning. A good nippy morning in Bedford, and I'm not sure I'm ready for these really nippy ones. I'll toast to that. Oh, the warm coffee is perfect this morning. Orlean Whitlow with 41 in Hodgenville. You do need a blanket. Have a wonderful weekend. My furnace did not kick on. So inside, I saw it dropped. The thermostat showed 65 degrees. So we held off. But I did see a couple folks commenting that the furnace did kick on just to knock off the chill, knock off the nip a little bit. Tim Furnace, seems like a beautiful fall weekend. You got it. We've got lower 70s, sunshine. There will be a weak front that drops in tomorrow morning to southern Indiana. I think it just brings a few extra clouds. The air is so dry. I don't even think we'll squeeze out a sprinkle out of that. But that is the only thing that tries to move into our area, it looks like, over the next week or so. John Fox also breaking out the hoodie this morning. And thank you very much, Mom. You're a little biased, but thanks for the comment there. Also, I have got a ton of fire logs that I need to split up. That is going to take days and days, but that's a chore I don't mind. Where they're sitting there with the splitter, some of the malls, and all that fun stuff. All right, so we've covered the extolmag.com/weather. Again, you can get a lot of resources there, looking at those chilly current temperatures across the area. That's where we have our live show up. Thanks for watching on whichever platform it is, whether it is YouTube, Extol Media, Extol Weather on Facebook, my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, or extolmag.com/weather. Any big plans this weekend? Anything happening in your neck of the woods? Of course, we're talking a lot about Harvest Homecoming in New Albany, the big event here. Dennis, knock off the nip. There you go. This yesterday, but if there is something happening, a yard sale or a community event, drop it in the comments. I'd love to share what's going on all throughout the area. Our typical first 30s, earliest September 23rd, average is October 13th. So we did, Indiana at least, outlying areas did touch the 30s for the first time. So we'll mark that down as October 10th for, I'd say, countryside spots. Metro still not down to the 30s. It might not be the rest of the month. And the latest is November 13th to get down to those 30s. Here's the weather headlines for your October 10th. Chilliest morning so far, chilliest in 6 months. Cloudier tomorrow morning as that front dies out over us. And then a mainly dry pattern through next week. And just a little bit warmer next week too. But I've got mostly 70s and lows in the 50s throughout the 7-day forecast, which we'll see as we dig into the forecast in more detail here coming up. But sunny and mild today, 65 at noon, 71 for that afternoon high. Basically upper 60s, low 70s this afternoon. And if you are going out this evening, football or Harvest Homecoming or whatever it might be, or racing Louisville, maybe that extra layer, that long sleeve, because after sunset, we might get that nip in the air once again. Southwest wind around 5 to 10. I think we'll probably see some high clouds drifting in from the northwest later today out ahead of a system that is out that direction, which we'll see as well, which we can see as I bring up our other weather source here. Let me get rid of that and bring up this. We haven't taken a look at the RADSAT, the radar and satellite. Look at that big complex of storms there in Missouri. That is going to bypass our area, but that is the front that'll move in tomorrow morning and give us some extra clouds, and that's about it. It'll just weaken as it approaches, but it is full force sunshine throughout the region. Then there's a coastal low down there off Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. That's going to become a pretty mean system for the East Coast, the first big nor'easter late in the weekend and into next weekend. So if you watch the network news, you're going to hear stories about that storm along the East Coast, just whipping up the East Coast there with some waves and wind and some heavy rainfall. But again, really quiet conditions all throughout our region here. And again, as I mentioned, the Harvest Homecoming, a lot of folks out there having a great time this evening. HarvestHomecoming.com for more information. Low 70s now through Sunday. And weather that is about as good as it can get any time of the year. It's just awesome out there. All righty, moving right along here on our Friday. I want to give a shout out to our partners, Lyons Roofing, Lyons roofingco.com. They've got you covered on both sides of the river. You can give them a call, 812-294-3595. Obviously, they've been very busy this year from the springtime storms. Protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. You get free estimates right there. They got a career section where they have a roofing repair technician job opening right there as well. They can help you, again, in Louisville Metro, in Kentucky, in Indiana, and you get free estimates online, 812-294-3595. You can also give my insurance agent a shout if you want to get a quote. They've had auto renewal reductions, something you don't hear very often right now in the insurance industry. But if you want to get a quote, let them know that I sent you. 812-578-3072. You can go to amfam.com and search Michael Long, and you'll get hooked up with his contact information. And a shout out to our friends at Ivy Tech Community College in Sellersburg. Their beautiful campus right there, nestled at Highway 311 and I-65. And they've got a ton of information here online. As I'm scrolling live, you can see this as well. You can get a tour there online, but if you want to get it in person, they recommend the Tuesdays at the Tech. You can register there and get more information with that. And of course, they've got dozens and dozens of 2-year certification programs to not only power the workforce in Southern Indiana, but giving many thousands of people in our area a livelihood and a career. So thanks to them, Libs Paving, the top asphalt paving contractor around. You can go to libspaving.com to find out more, but also that they have some opportunities as well. I'm scrolling down here to the Apply Now section, available employment opportunities right there. So thanks to all of our friends and partnerships here with Extol Weather and Extol Media to allow us to do what we do each morning at 10 a.m. and also our other content, as well as I've reached 1.5 million views over the last 28 days. So thanks for checking out our content here, and we'll keep it rolling along. If you'd like to join us for advertising, marketing, or you just want to give me a shout and ask a weather question or whatever, Ben at extolmag.com. That's how we can connect. And Jason at extolmag.com. We'll have more exciting things to come here with Extol Weather. That is for sure. So again, let us know how cold it got in your backyard this morning. We're going to start to get deeper in the forecast. We got your cold weather jokes. We got your weather history. We've got your forecast and much more on today's edition of Ben at 10. Oops, we got a little impatient hanging on the cup here. All right, let's get to it. So this here is from explorefall.com. I would say it's probably pretty accurate. This is a look at the fall foliage forecast. And if you're a leaf peeper, you love to check out the fall foliage, you might want to check this out. So it shows our area late October, early November for the peak fall foliage, which is pretty much what I've seen out here each year. There's also the Draconid meteor shower. The peak was on the 8th, but it goes from the 6th until the 10th. So in the evening time, you might take a peek up in the northwest or overhead sky, and you might be able to see a shooting star. There was some reports of that last night, but it's not usually a big producer on average. I thought this was interesting here too. So looking at our sunsets in our loss of daylight. So today our sunset is at 7:11 with 11 hours and 24 minutes of daylight. By October 19th, so 9 days away, we have before 7 p.m. sunsets, and we lose like an hour of daylight, which is crazy. Within the next month, we lose like an hour of daylight. November 2nd, 5:42 p.m. sunset. So that is the time change. We fall back an hour. Our day length goes to 10 hours. And then December 2nd is when we have the earliest sunsets of the year. That's 5:22 p.m. And only 9 hours and 40 minutes of daylight. So we lose like almost 2 hours of daylight between now and December the 2nd. How many days until? So advertising the 60s and 8 days. I think we're going to be above normal overall for the rest of this month. Ups and downs, but generally above normal. Time change, again, in 23 days. Average first flurries in 36 days. Thanksgiving in 48 days. Here's the big weather history for today. 1780, the great hurricane of 1780 made landfall at Barbados with an estimated gust of 200-mile-per-hour winds. This is an interesting one. In 1925, weekend football games were played in deep snow across New England as up to 2 feet of snow fell in northern Vermont and New Hampshire. 1925 football. 1949, a deepening area of low pressure storm system produced gale to hurricane force winds over much of Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Michigan, and the Dakotas. Sustained 1 minute winds reached 85 miles per hour Rochester, Minnesota, 79 mile per hour. La Crosse, Wisconsin during the afternoon. Wind gusts as high as 100. 1964 in Indianapolis, the record low temperature for the date is set at 27 degrees. 1970, slow-moving tropical depression produced over 40 inches of rain in Puerto Rico. In 2009, in Nome, Alaska, experienced its first ever October thunderstorm with 5 lightning strikes. And in the same year, on this date, a band of snow dropped a dusting to 6 inches in central to western Iowa into central Nebraska. And 7 years ago, 2018, Hurricane Michael, I remember being down on fall break along the Gulf Coast when Michael was coming ashore. The strongest hurricane on record to strike Florida Panhandle when it came ashore near Mexico Beach as a Category 4 storm. That is today's weather history. Here's your weather jokes for today. What do you call a cold thief? A burglar. What kind of Mexican food do snowmen like? Burritos. And I'll be hopefully getting some Mexican food tonight. What do you call a cold, sunny day? A bright day. Those are pretty easy to write. How does a North Pole carpenter fix things? He glues it together. He glues it together. All right. Not too bad. It's cold related. Allergy report's pretty low here over the next several days. Some ragweed and still some grass pollen. Our forecast today for your Friday, TGIF, October the 10th, 2025. High temperature 71. So pretty good recovery after a chilly start out here this morning. Just about perfection. The wind light from the southwest. Oh my goodness, I got an LOL with the corny, stupid weather jokes today from John Fox, who has supplied us with some weather jokes, by the way. Your Friday night football forecast, pregame around 70 and dropping through the 60s with a clear sky, maybe some high clouds drifting over. You got Salem at Charlestown, New Albany at Seymour, Silver Creek at Brownstown Central, Clarksville at North Harrison, Crawford County at West Wash, Columbus East at Jeffersonville, Scottsburg at Eastern. Scottsburg's got a good team this year. Paoli at Mitchell, and Madison at Corden Central. Some good games tonight. Good weather for it as well. And we've got a soccer match. Football. Racing Louisville Football Club is playing tonight, 7:30, with temperatures in the 60s. Clear and comfortable out there at Lynn Family Stadium. And then Louisville City is playing tomorrow evening. And so just as nice for that match, too. And their games are dwindling down as we get later in the season. Not many games left. Check it out. Not as cold tonight with some high clouds moving over. Lily and Lasley liking the jokes as well. Happy to hear it. We'll keep them coming. Low tonight, 50 degrees, partly cloudy, cool and dry. We may wake up with some clouds over us with that, again, weakening front moving into our area, but I doubt it will produce any precipitation. We've got a good morning from Christian Walker with 52 degrees and sunshine. Heading to Michigan tonight. 76 days until Christmas, 83 days until New Year's. Thanks for continuing the countdown, Christian, and you have a fun and safe trip up there to, I believe, Traverse City. Beautiful spot. You might have to take a cold plunge up there in that water. Here's the forecast for your Saturday, October the 11th. I put a sprinkle question mark early. I don't think most of us will see that, just some extra clouds. And then we should start to see more sunshine in the afternoon. It should be beautiful weather for the Borden Braves Foundation golf scramble at Old Capitol tomorrow in Corden. Looking forward to playing in that. Tomorrow, 73 degrees, and that matches our normal high of 73. Normal low is 52 this time of the year. Sunrise, 7:48, sunset at 7:10. Here's the big 7-day forecast. Feast your eyes on that. So this means we can get a lot done outdoors, around the yard, clean up the yard. We can do fun things outside. This is great camping weather. It's just all good stuff. There's no weather worries here. This is your fall. And we've had some good falls over, I'd say, like the last 5 years. I feel like ever since COVID, we've had some really good autumn seasons. And this is playing into another one here with the 70s, lots of sunshine, lows in the 50s. So hopefully you can take advantage of that. And Christian saying it's a little bit chilly there in Carmel, Indiana. It's chilly all over the Hoosier State. You got that right. Just want to mention, too, if you want to get your kids interested in a new sport, they're building lacrosse here in New Albany, and you got a little bit of time to sign up here. The season begins October 13th through November 20th. For more information, cityofnewalbany.com/parks. or 812-949-5448. So I had some friends in high school. We had a high school lacrosse team that loved playing lacrosse. So maybe something to check out. If your kid is bored with a sport, maybe they want to try something new. All right, we'll go ahead and start to dig into the weather model data. It's 10:19. Hey, we are right on time with our show. That's the forecast portion. Now we're going to get into the weather nerd portion of the show. Mary Dale, good question. Have you turned on the heat yet? We have not. Not that we're trying to hold out or anything, but the inside's been pretty nice and warm. Like we get a hit with sunshine through the afternoon on the like it's a good 15 degrees warmer on the front porch with the sun hitting it. So our house heats up pretty good naturally. And then it got down to 65 inside this morning. And I don't mind cozying up with the weighted blanket. And I felt perfect. So we kept the heat off. But I know some folks, show of hands, did you turn on the furnace last night? I don't think you'll need the furnace for a while because you got that perfect temperature. You can crack open the windows, 70s for highs, lows in the 50s. Great stretch of weather here on the way. So good question there, Mary. And before you hit those weather models, just another live look at the completely clear sky throughout the region. Mary Dale's is a holdout, no furnace yet. There you go. So active weather out to our west, that'll stay west of us, but that is the front that should bring in some extra clouds. You might see some high clouds drifting in late today. And then I think we'll have some cloud cover around tomorrow morning. Beverly saying, no furnace yet. It is not November yet. There you go. Beverly has a November rule. So as we back out our view here, front out to our west, we can do a little drawing. This is high pressure, and it's starting to get far enough away. We're getting a little bit of a southwest fetch today, a light breeze out ahead of this front. So sunshine, nice day today, low 70s for highs. This weather out here will stay west of us and begin to fall apart as it approaches. And just a quick check of the tropics, just because it's interesting to check out sometimes. We're now past peak season, but there's actually it's funny. This is Karen. Karen just decided to develop into a very short-lived tropical system out in the northern Atlantic. And Karen is not going to bother anybody. Karen is going to behave up there. Karen is not going to be a Karen up there. No offense to any Karens. Karen is going to behave. And then you got Jerry. It's got winds at 50, a tropical storm. And it's just going to move to the north and not bother anybody. There's storms off the west coast of Mexico. And then this booger right here, this is going to be a low pressure system that scoots north and it's going to be lashing the East Coast with winds and wave and heavy rainfall late this weekend into early next week. If you watch, as I mentioned earlier, the network news, you're going to see stories about this weekend, but that will not bother our area whatsoever as we stay nice and sunny throughout the weekend. Not a very good sunshine drawing right there. All right, let's get into the weather models. We'll quickly look at the dying front that is going to move into our area tomorrow morning. Again, I think we just see some cloud cover from that. I'm cold and my button pressing isn't doing good right now, but we're going to get through it. Here's the future radar. And I'm going to bring up her 48-hour high resolution rapid refresh weather model. So this is this afternoon. As we stay nice across the area, the rain is out west and not much of it there. I'm going to go to past midnight here. And exactly, Steve Gibbons saying the great thing about this weather is not having to spend money on heating or cooling. It is the perfect conditions here for energy savings. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to stop it here. We'll go like sunrise 7 to 8 o'clock, right after 7 o'clock. And there's not even a blip on the screen. So that's what I mean. This front is falling apart as it moves into our area. So probably not even a sprinkle Again, just a little bit of cloud cover from that. So that's that. That front falls apart as it approaches our area. Yes, indeed. Even chillier for you up in Michigan, Christian. And speaking of chili sounds good. Chili is always good this time of the year. So here's a look at the current conditions before we dig into the longer range weather model. So there you go. These are all the ASOS weather observation stations across the United States. These are usually at airports. But these are the current temperatures. A little warmer out west and to the south. You've got some 30s up north. Oh, look at that. We can go way up into Canada too. Very cool. Literally cool. But now we're starting to make our way into the 50s throughout our area. Okay, moving right along here. Let's bring up the GFS weather model. And again, we are high and dry through next week. Oops, I need to clear that out. So we'll go back to future radar. And we will switch this to the GFS reflectivity. We can also bring up like total precipitation and take this through the end of next week. So we'll go a week from now, like Thursday or whatever. So this right here, guys, is 162 hours rainfall total through October the 16th. So what that tells us is we are dry weather pattern for a long time. Lots of sunshine. That's the rainfall total over the next week. And it might continue longer than that. Bringing up the reflectivity. This is the 16th. There is maybe a front nearby on Friday. It's just not showing much with it. Talk about next Friday, by the way. So yeah, the GFS tries to print out a shower October the 17th, but the GFS and the Canadian weather models are dry with this. So that's even a very small chance. And then it showed like the following weekend, like the 19th into the 20th. So like Sunday into Monday, not this Sunday, Monday, like 19th, 20th. Maybe there's a front around that time frame. So that shows a little rain chance around the 19th. Here's the 20th. The Euro had a better rain chance around the 20th than this GFS weather model. Storm track staying mainly to the north. And since we're looking this far out, it is now. On a limb segment. And if you've kind of paid attention to this long range segment of the show, the GFS continued to try to give us some down the road, kind of around the 19th, 20th, start to take those 30s away, which isn't necessarily bad. It's nice to get a frost at some point in October to get rid of like the pollen, get kind of a killing freeze. And then you can get the weeds knocked back and things like that. But we may not have an October frost just by the looks of some of this long range data I've been looking at. So I'll get back to it here. I'll put on the temperatures here. We're looking at the 20th of October. Where's my temperature map? There we go. So just to get my bearings here, the 20th is 2 Mondays from now. All right. 2 Mondays from now. All right. So check this out. We're on the warm side of things. I don't think we'll get that warm, But that is some warm stuff right there. Definitely above normal. So 80s might not be done from time to time through the rest of this month. The latest we've ever had a 90 is October 15th. So I don't think we're going to have any 90s for the rest of the year, but we might pop in and out of the 80s from time to time. So that is 2 Mondays from now, October the 20th. We're going to clear that out of the way. And now we're going to the 21st. So this will be a Tuesday. Looks like maybe some cooler air tries to work in a little bit. Showing 60s, 70s. Going into Wednesday, the 22nd. Looks like another warm up out west. So as these systems cross north of us, ahead of the fronts, you get a warm up. Front moves through, you get a cool down, roller coaster kind of a weather pattern. I think this is like Thursday, the 23rd. Yeah, that'd be right. So this is showing some warm temperatures as well around that time frame. Definitely above normal for this time of the year. In the cold air, these would be kind of right around high temperatures for Thursday, the 23rd. So we're still on the warm side of things there. Going into Friday, the 24th, looks like that front might move on through. So what does that do to our temperatures here? Showing 60s, not bad for this time of year. That would be kind of normal highs. And then into Saturday morning, the 25th. Kind of like this morning, it's just showing some 40s, but definitely not that cold for this time of the year. And then going into the 26th, which would be a Sunday, we're looking for, this is as far out as the GFS weather model is going to go, and shows kind of the chill that we have out there now. Maybe some 30s by the end of the month, but nothing extreme here, guys. Just kind of up and down, mild to warm, warm to mild, perhaps for the rest of the month. We'll see. I think we're gonna have to wait for November to really bring us a significant weather pattern change. I'll bring up the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day and 8 to 14 day outlook, which I think is just going to show above normal temperatures. So there you go. Central United States into the Ohio Valley, high confidence of above normal temperatures through next week. And above normal doesn't mean it's hot this time of the year. Our average high is down to 72, 73. So even a 75-degree day would technically be above normal. Cooler than normal out west over New England. And then we are a little bit above normal here. Much above normal. They could have 90s down in Texas. And then as we go to the 8 to 14 day outlook, so looking down the road here quite a ways, it's the same kind of weather pattern. Again, we're not seeing a big change in the overall setup throughout the atmosphere and with the jet stream pattern for the next couple of weeks. Again, it might be November before we start to see more significant change. My hands are a little chilly. Should have set up on the front porch where the sun is shining. But cheers to a nice, crisp fall morning here. It is now 10:33. And I guess that is all we need to look at for the long-range outlook since it's very, very quiet. So that has been Ben on a limb. Let me see if I can bring up the current dew points. Do I have a dew point map? And then I need to switch this to the dew points. Should pop up. Sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to pop something up here. Oh, you got to turn it on. It's hard to see, but no, it's temperature. Dew points in the 40s. Anyway, Let's get back to the forecast here as we wrap things up on a Friday. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Let us know what's happening in your area. Oh, that's a good question. Orlean asking, do you have an idea when the latest freeze has been in our area? I do. Cheers to the warm coffee from Angela. And Lillian wishing us a wonderful weekend. That's a great question there. I love Orlean popping in with the question. So let me, and this is something that you guys can go to as well. This is a great resource if you've got a question like that. So you go to National Weather Service climate, and it's going to bring up the NWS climate page right here. And then you just click on our area right there. You go to local data records, you click on Louisville, and there's so much cool information right here, especially if you're into weather. We can go down a little bit farther to frost freeze information. And so this shows, your latest spring frost, your earliest fall, latest. So the latest fall freeze here, Orlean, which is technically right around 32 degrees, December 5th, 1885. The latest first frost, which they calculate at 36 because the thermometers are about 6 feet off the ground. At the ground level, at the grass, it's near 32. So frost, November 23rd for the latest frost. Then the latest first hard freeze, which is 28 degrees. That's December 13th, 1939. The longest growing season, 257 days in 1884. Shortest growing season, I'm assuming that was an early freeze, 166 days in 1976. So a lot of good information right there. If you ever want to check that out right there. Christian Walker, happy Friday to you. We're going to get the forecast here back up and heading towards the end of the Ben at 10 show. I'd like to do the recap for those that may have hopped on board a little bit later in the show. So we were talking a little bit about this yesterday. Typical first 30s, earliest is September 23rd. On average for Louisville, October 13th. That's a little earlier for outlying areas. We did it in the countryside in southern Indiana. Many spots dropped to the upper 30s this morning. So mark it down October 10th for southern Indiana, and then the latest November 13th for the first 30s in Louisville. Bradley Green with a hello. Thanks for tuning in here, Bradley. Hope you're having a good morning. Chilliest morning so far. Cloudier tomorrow morning as a front moves in. It's pretty much a dry front, though. And we should see some more sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. Mostly dry pattern through next week. Warmer weather, a little bit warmer weather next week as we head a little higher up into the 70s. Today, 71 degrees, just about perfection out there. Light southwest wind. May see some high clouds drifting in later today from the northwest. Great weather for Harvest Homecoming. A lot of folks out there supporting the local establishments with the beverages out there today and tonight. So hope everyone has a fun and safe time out there at Harvest Homecoming. Our fall foliage update here. This is from explorefall.com. And then also Brown County has a leaf cam. They like to track the leaves there. So bring that up real quick. Obviously, we all know Brown County, Indiana. Beautiful place. This is there at the Brown County Inn, which we've stayed there. That's a cool spot. But you can kind of keep track if you wanted to there in Brown County. And I mean, it gets packed there. What is it? Highway 46 off I-65. We're up towards Columbus. I mean, that stretch can get just loaded with cars. Traffic jam with all the folks out there looking at the fall foliage around this time of the year, a little bit later. So there's that. That's browncounty.com with that leaf camera right there. All right, so back to it. So late October, early November is the Explore Fall forecast for our peak fall foliage. The bracketed meteor shower continues here For tonight, you might be able to look up in the sky and see a passing shooting star. It's from the 6th until the 10th. The peak was on the 8th. It's not a big producer, but who knows? You might see one. All right, and we're getting those earlier sunsets, 7:11 this evening, or before 7 p.m. sunsets on the 19th. November 2nd, 23 days, 5:42 p.m. sunset with our time change. And then December 2nd, our earliest sunsets of the year, 5:22 p.m. And we lose about an hour of daylight over the next month. And then over the next couple of months, we lose about almost 2 hours of daylight. Dallas with a chilly but beautiful morning. It is. How many days until? Average highs in the 60s in 8 days, although we're going to be above normal, it looks like, overall for the rest of this month. Time change in 23 days, average first flurries in 36 days, mid-November. And Thanksgiving right after that in 48 days. A lot of weather history for today. This gets posted right around noon on my page. We went over this earlier, too, if you want to watch the replay. It just takes a while to get through it. We're going to move on. Here's your weather jokes for today. Since this is a cold one, what do you call a cold thief? A burglar. What kind of Mexican food do snowmen like? Burritos. What do you call a cold, sunny day? A bright day. How does a North Pole carpenter fix things? He glues it together. He glues it together. Free stupid weather jokes. Low levels on the allergy report here and our forecast summary for today. 71 degrees for this beautiful Friday. Fantastic Friday. Light southwest wind. Sunset at 7:11. Your Friday night football looks all good. Looks like temperatures mostly be in the 60s. Might want that extra layer. We got Salem at Charlestown, New Albany at Seymour, Silver Creek at Brownstown Central, Clarksville at North Harrison, Crawford County at West Wash, Columbus East at Jeffersonville, Scottsburg at Eastern, Paoli and Mitchell, Madison at Corydon Central. Good luck. Everybody stay safe out there. We got Racing Louisville Football Club match tonight, Lynn Family Stadium with 60s, and pretty much the same forecast for Lou City tomorrow evening at 7:30 at Lynn Family Stadium. So we've got at-home soccer matches. 50 degrees tonight, partly cloudy, cool and dry. Some clouds will roll in overnight, early tomorrow morning with that dry front that kind of just dies out over our area tomorrow morning. So maybe some extra clouds in the morning time. Noon, 64, 73 for tomorrow afternoon. And 73 is our normal high temperature for this time of the year. Normal low is 52. Sun up 7:48, sunset at 7:10. Here is the big old 7-day forecast. We've got 70s for the majority of it. We might cool back to the 60s by next Friday with lows in the 50s. So this is perfect energy-saving weather, cracking open the windows weather. Don't need much AC. Don't need much heat. And so maybe the energy bills will be going down just a little bit. Cheers again from the back deck. Before we wrap it all up, I want to give a shout out once again to our partners allowing us to do what we do here with Extol Weather and Extol Media. This is Lyons Roofing, Lyons roofingco.com. They are right out of Memphis, Indiana. I actually just talked to one of their workers this morning. And great people. They fixed my mom's roof. You can give them a call either side of the river, Metro Louisville, Kentucky, Indiana, 812-294-3595. Protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. That, of course, being your home. You get free estimates here online as well. Might team up with your insurance company if you have roofing issues, but they've also had auto renewal reductions. I've been told, and actually, I have evidence from my bill from American Family Insurance. This is my agent. I want to recommend you to him. Tell him I sent you if you want to get a quote, 812-578-3072. Michael Long here really gives back to the community. Great dude right there. So give him a shout. You go to amfam.com, just search Michael Long for his page right there. And our friends at Ivy Tech Community College, they've got a trunk or treat right around one of their next big events out there at their campus here at Highway 311 and I-65, 9 miles north of Louisville. They've got dozens of 2-year certification programs, giving many of our friends and families a career and powering our workforce here in Southern Indiana. They've got some job postings still at libspaving.com. They are the top asphalt paving contractor around. Again, family-owned company right out of the knobs. And there you can see their job opening. So again, Thanks to all of our partners, and thanks to you, our weather family, for tuning in each day here, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. This has been Ben at 10. We got one question here. Christian Walker, plans for the weekend? A lot of our friends heading to Harvest Homecoming, which is a big festival in Southern Indiana, New Albany Christian. And I've got some golf tomorrow, heading up to IU Sunday. So action-packed weekend. Actually, one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to is just some Mexican food this evening. I love my Mexican food. All right. A reminder, too, if you ever want to connect with us and be part of the team, we can help you out with advertising and marketing right here in Southern Indiana and beyond. 1.5 million views in the last 28 days just on my Facebook page. That does not include our platforms with Extol Media and including Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. We can get the word. If you want to see your logo on our content, here you go. Here's the way to connect. Ben at extolmag.com, Jason at extolmag.com. Joseph Rubel, we might end it with that positive comment right there. Great Friday. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for tuning in here. We'll be back in the studio, Extol Media Studios, on Monday. And also before my show on Monday,
I'm Angie Fenton, and this is meteorologist Ben Peine. Start your week with Extol Unfiltered, caffeinated by NWSB.
Every Monday at 9 a.m. on Extol Media Socials and My Socials.
And My Socials, too. Join the conversation.
All of the socials. All right, that's it here from beautiful Borden, Indiana, on a very crisp, nippy Friday morning. You guys have a great weekend. Have fun, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.